Hey, Supernatural fans. We are here to talk all about this week's episode of Supernatural. One more episode left till the finale, season 11, episode 22. So much to talk about. Join us right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Dream Police! There are so many dreams, nightmares happening with me, with everybody on Supernatural, with everybody watching Supernatural, I feel like. We are talking all about Supernatural Season 11, Episode 22. We happy for you. I am Lyndsey Wegner. You guys can find me on Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner. And I'm joined today by both my lovely ladies. Woo! Everyone's back in the studio together. Alexis held it down for us last week. Alexis, where can they find you?
You can find me all over social media where all shenanigans will ensue at Torres890.
And Katie Campbell's back as well.
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter at KatieEE Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's Campbell.
And we're going to talk all about this this episode. But first, let's get some ideas and opinions about what's going on so far. Heavy breathing.
Loved this episode. I love seeing everybody join together. It was really fun, but I'm also freaking out and I'm stressed out.
Mm-hmm. Hey there.
Yeah.
But we had a noise from God.
It was God speaking to us.
Speaking of God, there's a lot of things happening that I wasn't ready for. I did like seeing Rowena kind of being like, oh, I'm so sorry for all that I've done, but you already know that.
Oh my God.
It was great. Just seeing Rowena and God in the same room was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's, everyone's been waiting for this moment. Mm-hmm. We knew this was going to happen from the beginning of a season, that this was going to be a team effort to get rid of the darkness, to get rid of Amara. And so to actually see everybody together is kind of that like icing on the cake that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
If it's gonna work or not is the question.
But what was crazy too is like we've all been predicting that everybody's gonna work together, but we've all been saying, oh, but they're gonna want something in return. But it wasn't like that. It was just, listen, you can't want anything, stop fighting, don't flirt, we're just doing this and we're joining up together. And everybody was like, okay.
But I think it's better because we have a common enemy, which is what Lucifer said very, very clearly, that an enemy of an enemy is my friend. So it makes sense, and I like that that we can get past that, because the fact that No Earth and Amara creating havoc will just ruin everybody's plan. So,
right.
Yeah.
It's a lot coming at you. I was telling the girls earlier that I have 3 pages of notes here from this episode, because there was just, it's one of those action-packed episodes. You kind of get these monster things, and they're great.
Yeah.
But then you get something like this, and I'm like, you could have put this in 2 episodes and gotten rid of one of the monster episodes and gotten a little bit more in depth with things, and that would have made me happy. Would you ladies have preferred more of an in-depth of what was going on here today and split into 2 episodes versus a monster episode?
Well,
I didn't even think about it.
You know, I'm just really shocked though that these last 4 episodes have to do with the big, the whole thing that the season's about. I figured we'd probably get at least one more of those Monster of the Week episodes, but,
they've got nowhere to go. We've got to, this has to happen. This season is ending next week.
Right.
So I feel like they kind of waited till the last minute to kind of fill us in on what's going on, and I would have liked this to happen an episode or 2 ago and had a little bit more of what's going on and more fighting instead of this. I felt like everything went really all of a sudden quick. Even though I was taking so many notes and there was so much going on, I feel like it all of a sudden just was like, whoa. Wait, let me catch up.
Yeah, we got like the weird Ocean's 11 of like plans with defeating Amara, I feel.
It would have been more fun to see Dean pleading with Crowley a little bit more. And Crowley kind of being like, I don't know if I'm gonna help you.
So you wanted more of that?
I wanted more of the push and pull from each person coming in, and over the course of 2 or 3 episodes, and then have 2 episodes where all this is going on. Because next week, I don't even know how we're going to defeat her. So let's talk about the episode actually, instead of our just thoughts on it.
Sure.
So Chuck, we see Chuck, God, talking to Lucifer. This is the first time they're hanging out again in a long time, and awkward turtle. And thank you, Alexis. That was awesome. If you guys didn't see, Alexis just did the awkward turtle. It was great. Lucifer admits, he's like, I didn't ask you to heal me. Like, I don't really care.
It was such a typical, like, we talked about this, or at least, yeah, I talked about this last episode, was the fact that I love the sibling / father-son, like, just the dialogue is just such, like, when he went into his room, like, I know that we're going a little further ahead, but, like, I just love how he was just like, I'm gonna blast some music, and if Dad wants to talk to me, he can tell him himself, and I was like, wow. Yeah, peering into my childhood.
Exactly. It's something that we can all relate to, and it's something kind of neat for us to see Sam and Dean have to deal with.
Yeah.
But of course, obviously, we do have this father-son, brother-sister thing. So there's going to be some sort of drama, of course. And Chuck, God, do I call him Chuck or do I call him God?
I don't know.
It's really hard for me.
Chuck God. I don't know.
Back and forth in my notes. Half the time it's God, half the time it's Chuck.
Yeah.
Guck.
It's Guck.
We've got Guck going on here. He can't, Lucifer can't hurt Sam and Dean because Guck has safeguarded him. And, did any of you feel a little bit like he was pleading his case to Lucifer?
His reasoning why he did it?
Yeah. I felt like he was kind of, and I guess as we look at parents, they kind of do this at times without maintaining always the authoritative figure. But you're God.
Well, he obviously clearly still loves him. It's one of his...
That's what it comes down to.
For a child, and I think the last episode or the episode before, he was saying, I don't care about him anymore or whatever. But no, he clearly does. You can see it in his face when he initially first saw him.
Yeah.
But I really feel like Lucifer, I love when TV shows do this. They create a villain, but then they give them some kind of a humanity and they show us their side of things. And when they sat down to have that talk, I just felt like, oh my gosh, I feel bad for Lucifer. Like, I can see what he's saying. He feels betrayed by his father. I just thought it was a really good scene.
Yeah. It's relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the writers did a really good job because when the first concept of actually seeing our God and Lucifer and him having a sister, I was like, how is this supposed to work out? How is the dialogue going to be? Yeah. And I really love that it really brought such homely factors of feeling like, oh, you're actually seeing a father-son relationship that kind of went crappy eons ago, and now we're kind of making some closure. A little bit.
Rebuilding it a little bit.
Rebuilding that bridge. Yeah, it's interesting.
And like you ladies had mentioned, we see Sam and Dean pleading on Lucifer's door, who's jamming out to some music inside, and because he hasn't gotten what he wanted from his dad, and he needs to say something, and he's waiting for it. And we all know he's probably waiting for some sort of apology, which we do get to. But we get Crowley trying to convince the minions that he can make this world hell great again. He's looking for new recruits. He needs numbers, and people are laughing at him. They don't believe him. He's kind of a joke.
I knew that this was going to happen.
We saw it with him being the dog earlier in
My
the season.
first thought was, why are they sitting here listening to him?
Even the fact that he was able to round them up.
I also agreed that I sat there, I'm like, oh, they're here just to see the show.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. Crowley has actually hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Crowley's gonna get back up there, though.
Oh yeah, I've never thought that Crowley will ever stay low. It'll just be for right now.
Yeah.
Well, we do know that he needs to beat Amara. He wants to be the baddest there is, and the only way that he can do that again is by beating Amara. So there is something in it slightly for him,
Yeah, and it will definitely, I think him killing Amara or helping him to kill Amara will definitely put him back up on top, because they'll be like, oh, you just helped God and you killed Amara? Yeah, we're totally gonna kiss your toes, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about Crowley's mama. Let's get a Rowena. We get a Rowena sighting again.
She's beautiful.
Who's just gorgeous. Grand Isle, Louisiana. This witch is doing some sort of voodoo, getting a spell.
She's looking at tarot
Clea.
cards. Yeah.
Senses
awesome.
She was amazing. Senses Rowena, and Rowena says she's working on a spell and she needs a second.
Yeah. So what exactly during their whole conversation right there, what was her plan? They were going to head back into another time?
Yes, they were pretty much just going to, they knew that the world was going to end right here and now, but they were thinking of going back into time because they can live a little longer.
A few more centuries.
Yeah.
So this whole idea of other dimensions type thing, right?
Again, it's supernatural.
It's supernatural. Like they said, it's the pagan god versus real God and not believing in it. And
Yeah. So they just pretty much just want to extend their time before it all goes to crap.
Well, she brings up the fact that she's still got the Book of the Damned, so she has this magic that she can do with that. And the darkness means the end of magic, which means the end of them.
Yeah.
So we got to get them. Got to keep them around. We see Chuck, who's making pancakes. Won't apologize to Lucifer.
Oh, so
and we
hungry.
finally get Sam and Dean setting Chuck, Guck, and Lucifer up. And I love Dean's comment. Use I feel statements. Try that.
Dr.
This
Drew.
this Dr. Phil Mari situation was so weird to me.
Yes.
I was like, are we gonna have a Jerry Springer moment? Because that would be great. All the daytime television.
Well, and then Sam makes a good point. Did he say be less lordly?
Yes, that was the correct
Be
phrase.
less lordly.
Yeah.
Because,
all
Guck is
due
sitting there
respect.
trying to kind of intelligently work his way out of the conversation but
Without
with
saying
power,
sorry.
without saying I'm sorry.
It's a typical parent thing that like, hey, I'm right, so I'm not gonna say sorry because I'm right. I mean, I'm not saying all parents do this, but it is a typical thing when we're kids. We're like, oh, I know that you're wrong.
It was
say
like,
sorry.
I'm sorry that you feel this way.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
You're not
don't
really
even give me
apologizing
that.
for what you did.
I mean, just like with Dean, he's just like, you could just say sorry, don't mean it.
That was
Yes, I
hilarious.
I do it all the time.
the great thing about apologies is you don't have to mean them. I lie to Sam all the time and tell him I'm sorry.
And then,
And then he's like, I'm sorry.
see, I just did it right
See,
now.
I just did it. It was brilliant. Great writing on that part.
Fantastic.
Guck admits that he gave Lucifer the mark to lock Amara away, but the mark didn't change him. It just made him more of who he was, and he never liked humanity and the human race.
Yep.
What I thought that was really interesting that he said that, and then in the conversation he also said, listen, you're my favorite and I felt like you would be the strongest with it. So even though he knew he had that kind of thing towards humanity, that he thought he would handle it.
I think it's also on the lines of God always looks for the best in people. So even though he sat there and was like, I know that you don't like humanity, but I'm gonna hopefully give you the benefit of the doubt and give you this thing, and hopefully you'll do the right thing. Oh, you didn't? Okay, that's exactly what parents do. I mean, we all know parents don't pick favorites, but you know that there's that one kid out of the group of kids who like is a little bit more responsible than the other. That's what Lucifer was to him, and he was hoping that he would see the light to a point, and it didn't work out. But there's his lesson learned.
Does that make you think that line that he said that Dean's real self is angry or like violent? Or because remember when he first got the mark, those things were coming out. Do you think that there's anybody that could handle the mark that would be like, they're a really good person inside and they're happy? I mean, do you believe that statement that the mark brings out more of who you are?
I mean, that's why I think, not to jump into the end.
I was
but-
going to say, let's wait.
Okay.
Let's discuss that at the end because that's important. So,
with Sam?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, let's save that for the end.
Okay.
So, at this point, because Dean and Sam are trying to get this apology happening, Chuck, God, zaps them out of the room and asks Lucifer what he would have done. And said Chuck was supposed to love everyone. And this is where it became really, really beautiful. And love creation equally. And he admits, I gave you the mark because I loved you the most and I thought that you could bear it. And now he hates himself. He punished Lucifer for not being able to handle it. And he's sorry. And we get a genuine apology.
Yeah.
And you could see in his face that he accepted the apology.
Oh yeah, it seems like they were all on the same page.
Verge of tears?
Oh yeah, for sure, for both of them. Yeah, which is
For
crazy.
us. For us.
Oh no, I was a sobbing mess. It was the worst. I had to do my makeup twice. It
Oh.
was beautiful.
And then we had to have, so he's talking about, Chuck is admitting he's going to trap Amara in the box, but he's not going to kill her because there needs to be harmony and balance.
How do
Yin
we
and yang.
feel? How do we feel about this? Because I have mixed feelings.
Yeah, tell me. What do you
think
think?
there needs to be yin and yang?
No. I mean, I get what. Well, not from Dean's perspective, but I feel like history likes to repeat itself. So the fact that we're like, let's lock her up again and hope that she will stay in lockup forever.
She'll be back.
Yeah, but I mean, but at the same time, I get it because there needs to be a world of balance, and my family is very big on the whole yin and yang thing of like, if there is good, there obviously has to be evil. But I'm like, but we have other evils happening on Earth, so we don't really need it. But yeah, I don't know.
Do you think that she's the one that creates the evil in the world? Do you think that 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina, and not that Hurricane Katrina was technically like evil,
No,
it
but
was
like
a
it
natural
caused,
disaster.
yeah.
But do you think that she's what creates those things, or do you think that that is an outside source, that she's just the darkness, and technically, whether you get rid of her or not, there's still going to be
Darkness, like they pull off of her darkness these things that happen.
That's what I don't know. What do you think?
Well, nature is its own thing, right?
Yeah.
But nature was created by God.
So does
Mother Nature.
So does Mother Nature kind of take from the darkness sometimes?
I mean,
and then take from
I see it as, even though we are good people at heart, there is sometimes a bit of darkness in all of us. So even if it's, let's say, not his sister entirely, even the fact that he gave us free will and all that kind of stuff, I feel like we create our own. But she amplifies it. You know what I mean? And takes away. That's why the fact that when we had our Grombies, like the fact that they can just, they don't feel anything, they can do whatever they want because you've taken that good morale out of that. So again, I get why we need both, but I feel like she needs to die.
Why do we need both? Why do we need darkness? Why do we need evil? I don't think we need evil.
Yeah, this is the test, and then you go to heaven or hell.
I mean, God created the serpent, and then the serpent was bound to his belly for the rest of his life after feeding Eve the apple.
Yep.
So God essentially controls what happens to evil.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the great thing about the three of us talking about, is that we all have different views. So either way, it could go to the point where we do need both or we don't.
I love how deep this show gets with all that stuff.
Yes.
It's so
Writers
fun
are
to talk about.
awesome.
So quick poll: kill Amara or lock her away?
Ooh, I actually want to get rid of her completely.
I'm listening to God, so I feel like we have to trap her.
I say get rid of her.
All right, 2-1.
2-1. We'll see how Katie feels next week.
Put it in the chat because I want to
Yes,
know.
let me know what you guys think too in the chat. That's right. Chuck mentions that they're a few members short and they're too weak. Michael's in no condition to fight. Gabrielle and Raphael are outside his power, and he doesn't have that time to get this group of people together. So they need somebody else.
Oh.
They've got Crowley's demon power. And we get Dean going to Crowley, telling him to sober up. It's time to fight. They need his help. Cassifer, is up in heaven trying to get the angels on board and rally everybody together. They're mad at him. And how beautiful was this moment, you guys?
Oh, so great.
Where we get Lucifer being his
Misha's so
slimy
amazing
self.
with his acting.
And
It's
then the
so
change.
crazy. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good. I also teared up at this because I feel bad for Cass, but he did choose to be like, to help out in this
But
fashion.
it was a sacrifice.
It was.
At the end of the day, it's a sacrifice.
for greater good.
It is, and I think that he's on the right track. I mean, we won't touch more into the end, but now his whole storyline's kind of up in the air too. So I don't know. I don't know if this was for good or for not. For not.
we get Sam with Rowena and Clea in the witch's den. Clea admits that Sam's actually under protection, so Rowena knows that it's got to be God.
Does anybody think that Clea is, or Cleo or Clea?
I think it's Clea.
Yeah, do we think that she's more powerful than Rowena because she can notice these things, or do you think that she's just not thinking, not tampered with, or jaded?
I was just gonna say jaded by the fact that Rowena's been burned by these guys.
Yeah, by the Winchesters,
so she's
way
like,
too much.
Not even looking at that, she's just like, I don't trust you.
Yeah, like immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, I was curious.
But they need Rowena. Once again, there is free will, so everyone has the decision to decide.
I'm so glad she's back.
She serves magic, not God. She's a pagan, but Clea wants to help.
All of the comments about him being so tall in this scene was hilarious.
So good. I love the fact that she wanted to turn him into a moose.
I know.
Oh, yes. I'll turn you into a moose. No.
I was like really throwing that Canada source in there.
Yeah.
So somebody said they defiled himself with a deceiver and through him, Lucifer and God will defeat the darkness. And I can't remember who said that now. Sorry.
I don't remember who.
But this is God's fight. They need to assemble a band of brothers. And basically, when Amara is weak,
God comes in.
God will finish her. And then Dean asks, why trap her when you can kill her? Now this is where we get another crazy turn, because Dean says, well, I tried to kill her and I couldn't do it. And this is where the twist comes in. Did you really want to kill her?
Is it because of this mark that they're bound like this?
I mean, that's what I thought it was too. I thought maybe it was the mark talking more than anything, that he can't actually kill her, and he doesn't want to do it because he can't, so he wants someone else to fix his problems because it's Dean.
Yeah.
But when he tried to kill her at the mid-season,
oh, that was crazy.
I thought that he really wanted to kill her. I didn't even think that, okay, this is possible that he couldn't kill her because subconsciously doesn't want to kill her.
Yeah, and it's weird because we all know how Dean is with the females. So there's also that too. But I don't think he's actually falling for her. I just think he actually physically, spiritually, everything and part of his entire being, he can't actually kill her. So he needs, again, somebody else to clean up the mess.
Mark wired him this way.
I think so too. Yeah, for sure.
Lucifer says this is a simple plan. Crowley says it's insane, and Rowena says it's suicide. But you know what? They're all in. And we get Amara with Donatello, the prophet, and she gets information on him where the boys are. He's
the poor prophet.
We talked about this last week. I was like, I want him to survive. I want to wait until the finale. No, we got him in one episode.
Well, I also saw in the YouTube comments, thank you guys for commenting, that people were like, well, why bring him back when they could have brought Kevin back?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they brought him back for a little bit.
I'm much happier with Amara killing Donatello than I would have been with her killing Kevin. I would have all freaked out again.
I would have hated it.
So for that purpose, glad that it was Donatello. She does end up in the bunker. There's spells, and she appears, and she knows that God's been there. She kicks his world's greatest dad coffee cup out of the
that mug. Oh my god.
Yes.
It's so good.
It's so good. I love it.
And we have everyone together, prepared, and then we see the bright light and God appears. And this is what we were talking about earlier, where he admits Rowena was one of his guilty pleasures. He loved watching her.
She's like, sorry about everything I've done in my life.
Yeah, but I think it's great because even though she's like, oh God, and he's like, oh God. That whole thing was great.
She flirts with all of us.
She does.
Everybody, and it's fantastic.
It's the first time she's seeing Lucifer again. And she's like, it's not the first time a man has tried to kill me. So,
oh yeah, there was that little flirt there, and then God, really though, like Rowena,
Fergus. Yeah. She's more annoyed seeing
her son
Crowley than she is anybody else.
It was beautiful.
It was great. Shock and awe. Demons first, Lucifer next. Cass is on board. That's what Lucifer says. God will then take the mark and seal her away. And this is once again where it twists us again.
I was not expecting this twist.
Who's not getting the mark? Dean isn't getting the mark because Sam is getting the mark. Now, Katie, this comes back to your question.
Yeah.
Who is tough enough to handle the mark, and does the mark turn somebody into something better or worse than they are, or bring out what they are as a person? So because Dean has these kind of violent, dark tendencies, when we saw him with the mark, it was
intense
wrath all the time.
Yeah.
Sam's not like that. Sam is about forgiveness and trying to find a better way. How do you think the mark, if he gets it, will affect him?
I was not, and also expecting this at the same time, because every time a season ends, we gotta have one brother in trouble and the other one not.
I think Dean's gonna be the one in trouble at the end of the season.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like it switches off. I can't remember who was in trouble last season, so right off the top of my head.
Was it both of them? But I think it was Sam, essentially, because he's the one who
they switch off every season. Yep. So I was assuming it was Dean this time.
Because it was Dean and Dean the season before.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we're switching off. So either way, it's always somebody has to sacrifice each other for. We all know the trope, but it makes sense for Sam to be the one to hold the mark. I think.
I feel like I want to explore the whole thing and say that Sam might not be as violent with the mark, like maybe it is your true.
I mean, we did see soulless Sam. That was weird.
Yeah. Maybe it is your true self when you have the mark.
It just brings out the qualities that you are as
as a person.
Times
As a human,
a million.
times a million.
Yeah, I mean,
everything's exaggerated.
I'm hoping that Sam will be stronger than that and show that he's true at heart, but I don't know.
Because if we go there again, we can't go down the same path that we saw with Dean with the mark,
No.
because it's just
Yeah.
repeating the story over and over.
Yeah, so it has to be the complete
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting.
But I don't know if we're going to even go there with the mark.
I don't even know because we only have one episode left. I'm not ready.
It's God's plan. So we get in the next scene, we come back from our commercial break. Rowena is in Amara's head. And obviously we know she's with God now. They meet outside and, Rowena's trying to play Amara, and Amara knows that, no, you played me. And you're working for God right now. And Alexis is very, very upset, so I'm gonna let her take it from here.
Oh, I don't mean to take the thunder from you, not to be punny, but oh my God!
Take it.
As soon as she did, as one of the coworkers here, his name is Jeff, and he said that the purple lightning, whatever, that. As soon as she did that, I was like, okay, she can't be doing this by herself. There has to be other witches helping her. But I know that Amara is way stronger than like 5 witches.
Oh, yeah.
So as soon as she kind of repelled it back, I knew that no one was going to survive except Rowena, because we can't kill her off yet.
It did weaken her, which I think is what they wanted.
Yeah,
Maybe they knew, like, listen, this is not going to work. And it makes you wonder, does Rowena know about her witches aren't safe? I think she'd still.
I don't think Rowena cares, as she pointed out.
really
she'd
doesn't.
still go along with the plan.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In the beginning of the episode, they meant, Clea says, she goes, you could have had this one and this one. Oh, wait, no. You killed them.
Yeah.
So I don't think the witches expected to be killed off. I think Rowena knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And we saw that this was God's plan. It was Rowena, then Crowley, then Lucifer, then him.
That fight was crazy.
It was the witches all die. Amara sends the power back, kills them all. We see then
scary.
this, but they did weaken her. We see this gray smoke coming, and I thought initially it was Amara's darkness, but it wasn't. It was actually a little bit of the witch's power working. We get Crowley's red smoke that's throwing her burned body to the ground.
And we had the angels, I'm assuming, was that giant beacon of light that came down.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, this was crazy. It was crazy. And Dean's a little scared. And Sam's kind of got to hold him back. Do you think it's a protective thing?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah, no, that's the mark. Well, not the mark, but the fact that he is bound.
connection.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He, his face always turns into this certain type of, concern immediately as soon as she enters a room. Even though he wants to kill her so bad.
I was screaming during this moment because we finally have Amara and God face to face.
And she looks like she needs a nap.
Yeah, she was not looking so.
She wasn't looking so
good.
hot.
Hello, brother. You cheated again.
And I'm okay with this.
Whatever. Cheated. Listen, he just played his cards right.
Oh, yeah, I know. She's just being a sore loser.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lucifer stabs her.
My brain, it just exploded. If you could have seen my face when that happened, literally everybody else who was watching with me was like, are you okay? And I was like,
Guys,
what just happened?
why didn't God take that and finish the whole plan? He just left there and he couldn't kill her. He couldn't kill her, or he couldn't trap her away. He couldn't do it.
Because even Lucifer went to get her again, and God stopped him.
I know.
It's his
from
sister.
killing her.
Yeah.
And he actually apologizes to her. And she admits, she goes, being locked away all those years, I actually begged for death, so kill me now. I don't, she wanted that. And her crime was the world being born and her not letting him do it, and she gave him no choice. There were equals that were created archangels to make lesser beings. She loved him, and she asks him to be killed. Do you think he's going to kill her, or do you think he's going to save her? In this moment, did you expect him to just completely forgive her, or to go, you know what, she doesn't want to be back in the cage again?
No,
let's just.
He wanted to put her in the cage. I didn't think he was going to kill her, and
I didn't think he was going to save her either. I think he was just trying to amend himself before putting her back in the box, and it was too long.
Exactly, it gave him too much time.
Yep.
Because all of a sudden we see him starting to take the mark and moving it to Sam, and Sam starting to be overtaken by this mark.
Oh, so mad. So
She
mad.
starts choking him. I literally had to rewind and go, what the heck is going on here?
I knew that was coming because we have one more episode, and I'm like, we're gonna trap her.
Not
And
true.
what's gonna be the last episode?
I thought that they were going to trap her and then she wasn't going to be in the box. And they were going to be like, what the heck? I thought I sent her there and then she went somewhere else. That's what I was hoping. I wasn't thinking she was going to do what she actually did. Curse you, supernatural writers.
I know.
Well, we do see Lucifer about to attack her.
Oh, I want to know
I
what
love that though. Oh my gosh,
It was
I love
really
that
good.
He
was
went to
protecting
protect his
father.
dad.
I know.
So the apology, the genuine apology,
It worked.
obviously worked. All right, ladies, here's the question of the hour.
Yeah.
Who's gone? Lucifer or Cass?
Lucifer. Did
For
you
sure.
see that merge of his actual face?
face. That was crazy.
Yeah. But I think Cass is still alive. He just got
You
knocked
think
out.
Cass is alive?
Yeah, I think Cass is still in his
gone.
body. I think Lucifer is either, I don't think he's dead, but I don't know where he is.
So we think technically both of them are alive right now.
Yes.
I'm not. Cass, yes. I'm not sure how I feel if Lucifer is dead or not. I don't know. I think he might be dead.
Crossing my fingers that I hope he's alive.
I
hope so,
feel
too. I
like
think he's-
I feel like somebody's gone, but I don't know.
I don't think it's
Well,
Cass.
they'll do this with characters too. They'll, like, we turned Lucifer around. He's being a better guy, and then that's what they do. They kill him off.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And also, I think the fandom would actually riot if they killed Cass off this early with another season.
I think initially my thought was they just killed Cass. Lucifer got expelled from the body, and then we saw the preview, and I was like, okay, all right. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But that was my initial thought.
Yeah.
That Cass was gone, and
Yeah.
Lucifer had been.
When Amara
Expelled.
knocked him away and she had God up in the air, she looked like, it reminded me of Ursula.
Oh yeah, with
Yeah.
her tentacles coming out, or like when
Yeah.
that point where when her the ink comes
So
out. That
the
was crazy.
mark has come back to her. She's created the black smoke. It's coming up, and it's piercing God. And we see this bright light, which I thought somehow maybe would be his sort of escape from it all.
Yeah,
But it wasn't, and he falls to the ground.
I was very confused because I don't know if it was just something like a shot that they left in or anything, but it looked like his body moved right before we went into a commercial break.
And I missed it.
Yeah, and Katie said she didn't see it, so I don't know if
I
that was
didn't
just
see
me.
it.
There's a part where his arm is kind of twisted, so I didn't know if he was just trying to fix himself and they just kind of left it in there and didn't notice. But it looked like his body moved just a tiny bit, just like
Okay.
he lurched forward.
Yeah.
But that was just me being, being over.
Well, you said something crazy, which I didn't initially think, but I feel like that'd be
I can
really
wait.
cool.
I can wait for predictions for that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have him fall to the ground. I thought initially that this was the end of the episode. I was like, wait, I thought we had a few more minutes left, but this would be a great ending and
Yeah.
make us wait for next week. So glad it wasn't. We do see the final scene of the episode. Rowena's on the ground. God is dying. He will dim and fade away into nothing. And she admits so. If God doesn't change, why should she? And Rowena's up, and this is... God is not going to die until he sees it all turn to ash. Welcome to the end.
Oof, the end is nigh.
so
Frickin' nigh.
scary.
The darkness is the end.
Yeah. Woof.
All right. Next week's episode, we see Sam and Dean collecting souls to build a bomb to blow the darkness to hell. I didn't know if it was Lucifer because I looked to see who was in that scene at the cemetery. It is Cass's body's there, so I don't know if Lucifer is in it or if
Cass.
Lucifer's gone or if it's Cass. Crowley, Rowena, Guck, and Dean's not going to carry the bomb. He's going to be the bomb, and he's going to be up against Amara. Do we think that Dean will sacrifice himself? Will he survive? What's going to happen? Let's talk about some predictions and thoughts for next week.
Okay. I think he's in danger.
And now,
'Cause they're
your
always in
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I agree. Jacob Alber's in the chat. It is going to be a spirit bomb. It's a Dragon Ball Z reference.
Spirit bomb.
Do you want to go first?
Well, I just think that I'm nervous. I think Dean's going to be the one that's in danger at the very end of the season. I'd like to see him be able to go through with being the bomb against Amara, even though he's got this connection. I want it to go there. I want him to be able to destroy her.
I have a lot of things happening.
Yeah, what was this thought that you and Katie discussed?
So there's a part where we get Rowena right before we get our big line that welcome to the end, where Rowena kind of gets up and she looks kind of dazed and doesn't know what's going on, and then she looks at the sun and she does that whole thing. For some odd
Gorgeous
reason,
shot.
Yeah.
Katie's like, for some odd reason, I had a weird feeling that God transferred vessels and that he's in Rowena.
Wouldn't that be crazy? I didn't think about that, but then watching it.
But I don't know. That's just me going, oh, that's kind of weird that Rowena's kind of like, she looks like she's at peace, and she's also confused that why am I out here now kind of thing. But I don't know if that's actually going to happen.
Ooh.
That's just a weird predicament.
What was she looking at with that concern?
Yeah. So I don't know what she was looking at. So I was like, that's weird. Why is Rowena looking like that? So I don't know. That's just
cool
a
thing.
weird prediction I threw up and around in my head.
I love it.
Second thing was that we're definitely going to see Mama Winchester again, because remember how she was looking at the picture in the box. So I have a feeling when Dean comes up to be like, all right, I'm here to kill you finally. Oh, hi, Mom. And then there's going to be some weird thing, and then Sam has to come in and help and pep talk him or something. And it's going to be just really, really rough. Yes.
Because that picture, I just reading this comment, they're going to have Dean approach Amara to be the bomb, cut to black, we hear a bang, and then we're left all summer wondering if he successfully took out Amara.
That would suck.
You know,
I can see
who
that.
said
D'Andrea Harris.
Thank you,
D'Andrea. Oh, yeah,
D'Andrea.
she's always in our chat. Thank you for joining us again and always giving us your wonderful feedback.
I love it.
I think she's kind of right.
Yeah, onto something there.
Because I do think that Dean is going to step up to be the bomb and sacrifice himself, because he is going to be the only person that can kill her and know that this is where it ends, because you can't just lock her up again. She's got to be gone for good.
Yeah.
And they can't just leave us and put it to, oh, we see him successfully do this mission and all is right in the world. And then season 12 starts and we're like, hey, everyone's happy. It's not happening.
So what is the when we kill Amara, something has to happen to create a problem for us for season 12, the big thing of season 12.
Maybe we kill her, but the darkness that she's already left on Earth hasn't actually left, so they have to clean up a little bit, and then they find something else halfway through.
Okay.
What if Dean is locked into the darkness?
I did think of that, because even though because they're bonded, maybe he has a piece of that in him, just like we always have demons.
So they need to go find Dean somehow and release him from the cage of darkness.
Pretty much.
And she's a part of him somehow.
That would be crazy if they did a switcheroo, like they thought they put her in the cage and then Dean's actually in there.
Yeah, because she wanted him to be a part of her.
Yeah. Ooh, that would be interesting if they just became one.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to have to figure out a way to expel, because like you said, last week, she wants him to be with him.
No, I agree.
With her forever.
Boo 69Bs brings up a really cool option also, that Lucifer could have transferred into Rowena's body also, because remember, he just kind of left. If he didn't die, and let's say he just
if he didn't die, that's actually a good idea to use Rowena's vessel, which would make sense.
I would like for someone to use Rowena's vessel, whether it's God or Lucifer. I think either one would be great.
But we see her in the previews doing a little bit of a spell or telling them what we have to do.
So maybe she's okay, but maybe I don't know. I just thought it was weird how she was acting.
Yeah, it is. Something is up with that scene, what she's looking at.
But I would like to see God or Lucifer find a new vessel so that they continue with the show, because maybe both those actors are like, we have other things to do, so please take a new actor into our group.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think they would. I would want to stay. If I was God,
oh yeah,
as
I would
Chuck,
love.
I'd be like, you're keeping me around forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'm not taking a new vessel, but I think it is a meat suit that he's in. I think he's just using Chuck's, body or whatever, and technically could transfer to another vessel.
Yeah,
but
I would like that.
I'm hoping that we do get to see him stick around next season, because I think we're going to need his help rescuing Dean from whatever bomb darkness he goes into.
Speaking of Dean, I love how I'm That Guy KJ said Little House in Hell starring Dean and Amara. Oh, that would be a crazy web series.
Oh my god.
I think that we're not gonna be completely rid of Amara. Amara will be a part of Dean, or Dean will be a part of Amara, and next season will start with us figuring out how we can rescue Dean from the darknung
come in and out. Yeah,
I see some people talking about Jesus in here. Do you think Jesus is gonna come?
Cool if Jesus took a vessel and came and hung out and tried to help maybe with Amara, because God's gone supposedly, or dying.
Oh my gosh, do you think he's actually gonna die?
God? Or
Yeah.
I don't think God's gonna die. I think that would be.
I don't think they can.
I don't think they
can't
can.
kill God.
I don't think so. I think
you
he
can't
can
kill death either. But they did.
But they did. So you never know.
You hope that God is indestructible.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I mean, who else to kill God than his actual
his
sister that knows mostly about him? So that would make sense. But I think it would be really weird for the supernatural universe to not have God.
Yeah, what kind of world will it be if the darkness and God are gone?
Can you imagine that's what we have to do for season 12? Is
Maybe
God's
that's
dead?
where we're going.
And they have to figure out how the world's gonna work
or
without
who will
God?
take over God's place?
Yes. Oh, that'd be funny if it was Cass.
If God can ward the boys and ward people against the evil, why doesn't God just put a ward out for Dean going in as the bomb to protect Dean, but that he goes in to I don't know, do you have to use his soul to do that?
There's too many out clauses to get through. I don't know.
I can't wait for this episode.
This is so crazy.
Season finale next week. We're gonna totally dress up and be excited for this.
Listen, you guys,
finale.
I'm in all black today because I'm mourning God a little bit.
I'm wearing all of the Dean and Sam because
I love that
they're
shirt.
just. It's crazy that we're going on season 12 after this. This is nuts. 12 years.
And since I'm Don't Call Me Shirley, I just wanted to be Laverne over here, not Shirley.
I love it.
Laverne Lyndsey. Anyway, all right. So next week we've got the season finale. I can't wait to see what happens. I almost hate watching the episode when it airs because I just kind of want to wait. When it comes down to moments like these,
Yeah,
you almost want to group them
binge watch it
together.
all.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't wait till next week.
It's gonna be crazy.
know.
I'm sad that I'm not gonna be here because I'm gonna be traveling for work. So, but I will be here in spirit.
Alexis, where can everybody find you? Thank you so much for joining us again today.
I had to talk about this episode. It was crazy bananas. You can find me again where all shenanigans ensue at Torres890. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ps890. I talked about being sick because I'm sick today. On my new vlog, it's called Hump Day Lunch Hour. I talk about stuff on my lunch hour on Wednesdays, which is Hump Day.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I like it. You guys can find me on Twitter at Katie Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's Campbell. Instagram at KatieCampbell13 and youtube.com/KatieCampbellOnline.
And this is Lyndsey. You guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner. That's LYNDSEYWEGNER. Or my blog, lyndseyWegner.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for joining in the live chat today with us, commenting all those things. Let us know your thoughts. We will see you next week for the season finale. Happy birthday to my dad, whose birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.